All right, welcome back, everyone. This is Ebonie again, a.k.a. Fit Mom Diva of Simplicity Health Style. And today we have Miss Erica with us. How are you, Erica?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm awesome. Thank you so much for taking time out of your day today. And Erica is going to share some awesome jewels with us. If you stick around to the end, you'll have an opportunity to earn a complimentary gift. So stick around. Let's see what Miss Erica wants to share with us today. So Erica, start us off so we get to know you a little bit better and share one motivational quote that really inspires you, something that encourages you and gets you going.
One that really gets me going is I saw this a couple years ago, but it says basically, don't worry, you are where you're supposed to be. Because that's a big thing for me. I worry about just about everything because it's human nature to do so. So at that time, I was going through some crazy stuff in my head, and when I read that, it just it clicked, and I said, all right, I guess, I'm a firm believer of what's supposed to happen is supposed to happen. The way things work in life that's just how it's supposed to go. So that gets me going every day.
Yeah, I think that's a very encouraging quote for when you feel overwhelmed and
Right.
you're like, this isn't how it's supposed to be because this person over here is able to do X, Y, Z. And
Right.
really, everybody is exactly where they're supposed to be in life.
Yeah.
And it's how you can perceive that moment, which
Right.
will determine if you're going to fall into some grand depression or if you're just going to keep on trucking. Just keep on going and see it for what it is. Can you talk a little bit about either that experience where when you saw that quote or another experience where you didn't see the light at the end of the tunnel, you didn't feel like this is where I'm supposed to be, and have external circumstances arise and challenges arise because we are only human and we're always going to have those challenges.
Right.
It's ever going to be, crystal clean.
Yeah.
So can you talk a little bit about that time, but you were able to bring that goal or that dream or that situation to positive fruition?
Around that time, a lot was going on. So after college, I decided I was going to go to grad school. So I went off to grad school, ended up falling into a program and a degree that I had no idea I was going to be in. If someone would have told me this like 10 years ago, this is what you'd be doing, I've been like, okay, sure. So I went to school. That was fine. Graduated. Ended up finding a phenomenal job. It was, everything I could have wished for and more. I was there just about 2.5, maybe 3 years. And all of a sudden, things just started going downwards. My boyfriend of 3 years and I broke up out of the blue. And then I want to say a month or two after that, I got laid off. And it was just one of those like, what is happening? Like, this isn't supposed to happen right now. Like, I had this awesome boyfriend. I was moved out of my parents' house, had this awesome job, and now I have none of that. And it was very, I guess you could say it was very eye-opening because at that time, everything was going great. I couldn't see how things could go so bad so quickly. So, I woke up about a week after getting laid off and was like, where do I go from here? And I thought in my head, well, I have all this education, I have this experience, like I'll be able to find a job easy, like not a problem. And 6 weeks into it, still no job, still no nothing, and I'm like, what is happening? Like, this can't be happening right now. So that was a very trying time for me. And like I said, I woke up one day to do my regular job search, and that's when I saw that quote. And I said, okay, if this is where I'm supposed to be, then this is where I'm supposed to be. Maybe this time off was something I needed. Maybe I needed to clear my schedule to open up something, open up opportunity for something that, I would have looked aside from if I was still at that job or, so I said, all right, if this is what's supposed to happen, this is what's supposed to happen. And I want to say a couple weeks after that, I found another job that I was only there about a year before I relocated to Florida, but it definitely enabled me to gain the experience and everything that I needed for the current job I have now. So it all just kind of fell into place the way it was supposed to. So
yeah, and it's kind of amazing how things really do just fall into place. You know, you may look at something as this big tragedy, but then at the end of the day, you look back and you're like, but if I didn't have that experience, I wouldn't have had an awesome opportunity arise in my life right now. You know, you know, at the time it seems like it's like so big and that we can't get through it, but we always do. You know, like you're here today, and even though that was a terrible experience, you've been able to come through it and now talk about it.
Yeah.
Can you talk a little bit about any support that you may have had through the process? Because we all know that sometimes people have a ton of support, and other times they don't have much support at all. And for some people that feel like they don't have support, they actually do have it, but they just haven't sought that support yet.
For me, my biggest support was my parents. My parents have always been my biggest support in everything I did, even when it was things that they weren't exactly happy that I was doing or didn't completely agree with, but, you know, they always, of course, they gave their 2 cents and they were like, you know, I don't know if that's the best decision, but we're here for you if you really want to do it. So definitely my parents were my biggest supporters. And then, of course, my 2 best friends, you know, they were always the ones that they were looking for jobs for me, sending me applications here left and right, and, you know, telling me that, you know, it's fine, everything will work out, like, don't worry about it, you're great, I don't even know why you're stressing, like, take this time off, like, for once, take time for yourself. I've had a lot of support. You know, again, there were times where it was just kind of one of those things where I was so used to like being able to pay my bills and like not have to ask anybody for money. So, you know, during that time frame of not working for almost 2.5 months, like having to actually go to my parents and be like, hey, can you guys spot me this month on this bill? It was hard, you know, and there were times where I didn't want to, you know, and they could tell that I was struggling, and they knew I didn't want to come ask them for help. So they would just kind of slip the money, you know, in my purse when I wasn't looking, or, you know, they put it in my account like a couple weeks and not say anything. But yeah, my parents have always been my biggest supporters. My parents are actually from Haiti. So they, you know, they weren't raised in the US or anything like that. So they've worked for everything that they have now. And so being able to help me out when I need the help is almost a proud thing for them too. So, you know, but yeah.
Yeah, I think it's awesome how sometimes we might not want to ask for the help, but people are very open to helping. And it doesn't even necessarily have to come from family sometimes. Sometimes you can ask a perfect stranger to help you and they'd be happy to help you. So I think that, you know, sometimes just understanding that there's always somebody out there that's going to help support you, even if it's just a conversation, you know, somebody could say something that's going to give you an idea or an insight into how you can improve your situation. And they're not even somebody that you're probably going to speak to more than 5 minutes in your life. They can say the right thing at the right time, and it, you know, puts you on the path that you would like to be on. So I often say that we always have support, and in this world of billions of people, there's always at least one person that can help support you. It's just a matter of how are you going to seek and find that person. That's really what it's about. And in this world of technology, you can almost find any online forum topic. You're going to find somebody that's going to help support you. So
I agree.
I say just utilize that space. Talk a little bit about self-care and how self-care relates to us putting out our gifts into the world and serving others and living a life that we really desire. Because for a lot of people, as you talked about, some of your friends said, well, you know, Erica, it is probably good that you lost that because now you can take time for yourself. After you breathe, you smell the roses. So can you talk a little bit about some self-care that you maybe utilized during that time or that you utilize now to make sure that you're centered and focused on your actual purpose in this world?
So I grew up in the church, you know, since I've been going to church since I can remember. And so my self-care has been going to church, you know, meditating, reading my Bible, actually taking the time out to reflect on my day, my month, my year, you know, simple stuff like that. But I am also a very, giving, I guess you could say. You know, I tend to go out of my way for others a lot. And I try to which is nothing, there's nothing wrong with that. I love helping others and everything like that. But sometimes I get a little carried away. My husband says it to me all the time. He's like, you do too much for other people. Like, I'm one of those people where even when that job that I got laid off from, I was that one person that, like, when it would snow and the roads were all messed up, like, they would call and be like, hey, none of the other techs can get here. Are you able to get here? And I'm like, I'll be there as soon as I can. It's like everybody else is like, nah, I can't get there. I'm not driving in the snow. I'm not. And I'm like, sure, I'll be there in an hour, and my boyfriend at the time was like, it's snowing. Like, everybody else called off. Why can't you? And I'm like, well, they need somebody. I gotta go. Like, they called me. So I have definitely tried to back away from that. Again, I try to help as much as I can. And I think I help because I like the way it makes me feel. Yeah. I like being able to give to others who can't, do certain things. It makes me feel, not that I need to feel better about myself, but it does make me feel good when I'm able to help others, care for others, be that, like you said, be that support for someone else. Yes, I need support myself, but when I can be that support to somebody else, I love it. Right now, the ministry that I volunteer in at my church, that's what we do. We're called the Connect Center, and we connect with new members of the church that come in for the first time, members that have been there that, they're just having a tough time right now. Like, that's our role, is to connect with them. And I love being able to do that. So in a way, that's my kind of self-care, is kind of take in what I can and give it to others. But when I really need that actual self-care, I do a lot of, like I said, reading, motivation, just that time to just be by myself. If I've got to close myself, even if it's in a bathroom, I got to close myself, close the door, get away from my crazy dogs, my husband, everything like that. Just close the door for a little bit and just sit there and, let myself kind of decompress and get my mind clear, and then go back to everything else. I used to be really avid into working out. I've had some shoulder issues since then, so I don't do that as much. I still try to do here and there, but again, that can get a little rough with the working out because there's always so many people around you, the noise, the motion and everything like that. I just need the quietness is what helps me the most. So that's pretty much my self-care. Meditate, being alone, listening to music, and that's about it.
I love everything you just said, and I feel like it is so fulfilling when you can give to other people. And I think that when you're feeling the most down, those are the best times to give to other people because of what you just said. I mean, when you feel like you served somebody else or you did something for somebody else, it does make you feel good. Yeah. And the more that you do that, it's like you said, it's not like you need that, but I think there's always something about serving someone else with love that does make you feel more alive. And I think that we all should do more of that. And we all, we're on this earth together to help each other anyway. So we're only doing what we're supposed to be doing anyway, helping each other. It's not supposed to be where everybody is just so independent in their own world. Nobody can help anybody do anything. We're all connected. And I think that we can gain a lot more when we are working as part of a team.
Yep.
So I definitely see that as a form of self-care. And I think that sometimes we can find ourselves in a situation where we're feeling overwhelmed and we're stressed out. So as much as we would love to be able to help someone, we just feel like we need time to ourselves. And I also think that taking that time to ourselves is important too, so that you are at your best to help serve someone else.
Yeah.
So that, one day you need to just take that whole day and just be all about yourself and be all about yourself, so that for the other 6 days in the week, you're on fire.
Right. Because you don't really always you don't even need a whole day sometimes. Maybe you just need a couple hours and you recharge and you're good to go. So
sometimes it's 30 minutes.
Yeah, exactly.
I would tell people that if you could just spend 15 minutes a day just doing something that you enjoy doing, whether it's coloring in a coloring book, or you go and exercise, or you do some stretches, or you pray and meditate, or whatever it is that you enjoy. Just 15 minutes a day a lot of times can be a lot. It doesn't take a whole lot of time in your day, and it doesn't take a whole lot of money either.
Right.
You sit there and look at the wall sometimes, and you just feel a sense of refreshment, you know? So it doesn't have to be a whole lot.
Yeah.
I really appreciate you, Erica, and I know that for some people listening, they're probably like, well, you know, that sounds all well and fine, but I'm going through this and I'm going through that. And I always say to people that there's always somebody that you can vent to and have a conversation about what's going on. It's, are you open to knowing that there's always somebody that you can have a conversation with?
Right.
Not anybody that is so busy that if you told them, hey, I just need to talk for 10 minutes, 15 minutes, that they're not going to take some point in their day to listen to you talk, unless it's your belief. If it's your belief that nobody will do that, then that's exactly what's going to happen.
Exactly.
You know?
Exactly.
So, and if you don't have anybody else out there to help support you, I invite any of you listening into my Nutrition for Busy Women group. That's a nutrition group, but we're not just talking about nutrition for the physical body. We're talking about nutrition for the mind, body, and soul. So if you don't have anybody else to help support you, I'm all about encouraging other women. And I also, remember at the beginning of this interview, I talked about you'll have an opportunity to earn a complimentary gift. I'm also very much about people identifying what their gifts and true personality type is, so that they can begin to utilize that assessment and begin to make bigger moves and impact in this world and really shed their light and do what they're on this earth to do. So if you're in need of any kind of help in that regard, I can definitely help you get that foundation going, so that there is no excuse why you don't understand what your true path in life could be. So Erica, is there anything that you want to end us off with that you feel like ladies that are listening might want to know?
Like you said, I love that you said, you know, if you put in that aspect of, if that's what you believe, that's what's going to happen. I'm also a very firm believer of whatever energy you put out is the energy you're going to receive. So, you know, open up your mind, open up your heart, like let yourself actually be helped. Some people don't get the help they're looking for because they don't allow people to help them. Let yourself be helped. And I was one of those people where I was very independent in my mind. And I thought, you know what? I can do this. I can take care of this. I don't need your help. I don't want your help. You know, I was one of those people that thought, you know, if I don't do it, it's not going to get done the way I want it to. And every single time it never turned out the way I wanted it to. And it could have been so much better if I would have just let someone help me. So let somebody help. Don't think that you can take on the world on your own, because you don't have to. And believe me, it's easier not to. So, you know, just again, you know, put out the energy that you want to receive. If you want a happy day, put out that happy attitude, because if you don't, that attitude you put out, that's exactly what you're going to get back. So just again, open up your head, your mind, your heart, and just enjoy the life that you're given, because you never know where it's going to go, and you know, you have to just be grateful for what you have.
Yes, be grateful for what you have is exactly it. Because there's always going to be something to complain about.
Of course.
There's always going to be some challenges today. There's always going to be someone that got on your nerves.
Yep.
But if you always resort back to, but these are the good things that happened in my day.
Yep.
And those are the things you're going to focus on. And that's not to say that you're not going to have those situations that happen in life where there was an unexpected death in the family, or there was some kind of, you know, chronic illness that you weren't expecting to be diagnosed with. You're going to have those things. Right. But there are a lot of people with chronic illnesses that know how to express gratitude. Yep. And know how to live with that with peace. Yep. And I believe that we can all do that. It's what you put your mind and concentration on. You know, exactly. To sulk and complain and feel frustrated and overwhelmed, but know that you can get right back up. Right. Thank you so much, Erica. I appreciate you. And for anyone listening, if you want to share your experiences as well, I invite you to connect with me. As I said, all of my contact info is in the description box. All of Erica's contact info is in the description box. And we're definitely people that are welcome to encouraging you and supporting you in your endeavors. And if you feel like this content could encourage somebody else, share it out to them. And you just never know what kind of impact you're going to make on someone else's life.
Right.
Thank you so much wherever you are in the world. I appreciate you, and always remember to live a life full of meaning and purpose. And I'll connect with you in our next episode. I'll talk to you soon.